Today we had taken a look at the Behringer LM Drum. I had a subscriber contact me and ask me how to build what would be the ultimate drum kit on here. Using the built-in samples, they wanted to be able to pick the best of the best and build a drum kit using what's available on the drum kit without adding anything to it. Well, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to do that, plus I'm going to show you how to bring in a sample of your very own onto the drum kit using the software. This is the best way to do this because it's just a lot faster than twiddling around on knobs and buttons, I think, personally. I mean, on the road, you could, of course, do all this work on screen. I just think it would take a lot longer and probably be kind of frustrating. At least with the software, it's pretty quick. So I'm going to take you through that. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. One thing I would like to ask of you is if you could please like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It would really, really help me out. I put hours and hours and hours of my life into making these videos for you guys. But if you could like and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. It would really help me out. And it would really give me a little inspiration to keep going because right now I really could use it. Anyway, let's take a look here at what we got on the screen. All right, first we are at the drum kit. This is the LM Drum. First, what we need to know is that if you want to create your own drum kits, you want to get familiar with what are called banks. Right now, if I go over to the drum kit and I press the bank button, which is right here, you'll see that the first pad right here starts blinking. This is telling me I'm on bank 1. That said, if I play the drums, this is bank 1. I can change the drums to any of the 16 banks. Only banks 1 through 7 are populated out of the factory. Banks 8 through 16 are there for you to play with. So let's just change it first to bank 7 so you can see that it changed. Kind of sounds similar. Go to bank 6 real quick, see if that sounds. You can hear an absolute difference in the different drum kits. Even if it's one drum, that still can be a big change. All right, so let's go over here and go to bank 8, because bank 8 is the first one that has no drums in it. Nothing is set. So now you'll see on the screen all these that basically say they're empty. There's nothing in there. If I play into the drums, nothing happens, right? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go over to the software and we're going to get ourselves a drum kit set up. First, go right here. I'm going to get started. You can see that this is the Synth Tribe software, first of all, from Behringer. You need this software for updates. You need it for a bunch of things. It's super helpful software. It lets you build patterns, back up the system. It's just really great software, and it's pretty awesome because they have, so far anyway, every synth from Behringer uses this same software. It has all the updates for every synthesizer. It has all kinds of cool little utilities for every synthesizer, and it's all built in to one piece of software, which is pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna hit get started. There we go. And now here we are inside of the software from Behringer. We're not gonna really go over this screen that much because there's a lot to it, but what I'm gonna tell you is if you do goof your system up in any way and you need to kind of bring it back to factory standards, scroll to the bottom of this first screen and you'll see restore factory settings. Click that and it will erase all of the gobbledygook you put on there, except for any samples you loaded. It won't erase your samples, but it will erase your drum kits, anything you set up. So just so you know, it's a great way to get yourself back to base, and it will reset all these settings as well. So I'm going over here. We're going to click sample. By the way, I'd encourage you, if you do get this drum kit, drum machine, if you click update here, it will tell you you're up to date or whatever. Every once in a while, just check your software on these because they do change. Behringer does have a way of fixing things, and you won't know about it unless you actually check once in a while. All right, so here we are. First, we're here at sampling. This doesn't really look like it's very helpful because it's not. I'm going to click right here where it says Librarian. Now, when we're in Librarian, what this is you can see these 16 buttons right here are the 16 different banks. What I want to do is go right here to 8, because this is the first one that's empty. Now that we're in 8 on the software, we want to be sure that we're set on 8 on the LM Drum as well. So I'm going to hit Bank, and we're going to go to 8. And the reason we're going to Bank 8 on the machine as well as in the software is that if we don't, we won't be able to preview the drums as we load them. So basically, we're doing this as a kind of a way of getting our sounds in there and then previewing them as we load them. Let's start with the kick drum. Okay, so we'll go down here and I'm going to pick, we'll go with this LM9 bass. Okay, first I want to load this into the LM Drum. These are loaded right now on this kind of sample storage area, which is not kind of active. It's not available to pick from, at least initially. So I want to load it so it's part of this kit or this patch bank. Okay, so I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drag it and drop it right here on into the bank. Oops, that was supposed to be a kick drum. That's right. We'll grab the kick drum next. Could actually, if I wanted to, I could move these around. I could just put them in properly. Let's just fix that. Snare, and it's not like it's even proper. It's more of just a preference type thing, you know. So all right, so here's bass. I'm going to drag it out of the kind of the kit memory now. This is the samples that are part of the kit. I'm going to drop it right there. Now that it's in there on bass with these bold names right here, now it's assigned. So if I go over and click the bass drum on the LM here, you'll hear it playing. And it's interesting because you'll load the bass in a one slot here, right? But there are two basses. There's like a hard bass and a soft bass. And that's more of a velocity type thing. It just does that to give it a little variance. Now let's get the snare. We'll drop this in here. Now the snare is interesting because I'll tell you why it's interesting in a second. When we see the hi-hats, you'll know what I'm talking about. Some of these drums, like the snare I just loaded, if you look at the drum kit here, you'll see that snare is these 4 triggers down the bottom here, 1 through 4 right here. Boom. I'm sorry, this is a side stick. But here's the snare, snare, snare. They're all hitting harder. And that's a velocity type setup as well, but you'll notice that it's one sample right here, right? Well, when you look at hi-hats, you would expect that this would be 3 separate samples and they would play whichever you put into these slots. However, I found that that is not the case here. If I go over here and I grab a hi-hat, drop one right here, and now I drop that into closed hi-hat, you'll notice that it loads in closed and open hi-hat. And now if I go down here where I have there we go. Now you'll notice that it says hi-hat, hi-hat, and open. That's just the sample playing open, and then these two are kind of choked. It's all the same sample, but being cut off. It's like getting choked out. So it's interesting that it says the hi-hat twice and only loads one sample, really. So I don't know if they actually need to correct this in the software so it only shows hi-hat, or if they need to correct it so that when you load a sample for open hi-hat and closed hi-hat, that it actually is 2 separate samples. I'm not sure which way would be right. The way I'm describing this right here is also how tom works. If I drop a tom in there, let's get tom into the bank. Boom. I'll drop right here. And you'll see it loads in tom, high, medium, and low. Well, if I go to the toms, it's actually the same sample, just played pitched. Just thought I would share that as like so you understand what's happening there. It's kind of weird, and I feel like I'm gonna probably email Behringer and let them know. I'm curious why. I'd just like to, actually, if anyone knows, let me know in the comments why you think this might be this way. I am going to, now that I've shown you how to load samples up here, I'm just going to skip ahead real quick and, get the rest of these in here while you guys, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to restore from a backup. Actually, I already have a preset one here. All right, now that I've jumped ahead in time a little bit here, and I've gone through and picked all my different sounds, you'll notice that they're not the sounds that we necessarily started with. All right, so if you want to import a sound of your own into your drum kit, just go over here to Sample and then Single. And we're going to hit Open Wave. And now I'm going to go find a sample that I want to bring in here. We'll go to my 909 drum kit. I'm going to grab the kick. And I'm going to hit Send. And it says it sent it. And I'm going to hit Done. And now if I go over to Librarian, I should be able to scroll to the bottom of this, on the left here, and see my 909 kick. There it is. And now I can take that 909 kick, go to my 8th bank as I was before, and drag that in here, and I could drag that on and replace the kick. Well, before I replace it, let me let you hear what's there right now. Here's my current kick. Okay, and now I'm going to bring my 909 kick and replace it. And now that I've added that kick drum, I might actually do a full 909 kick drum or 909 drum kit on here for you guys. If you're interested, let me know. And that's pretty much the tutorial. As far as getting the software here, if you haven't already got the Behringer Synth Tribe software, what you would do to get that is go to Behringer.com, as you can see right here, and then you just go right to search and type in LM Drum. Maybe a space between them. Let's try it again. And then you just click right here, LM Drum. And then as you scroll down the page right here, you see software, and there it is. If you've got a Mac, get the Mac one. If you've got a PC, get the PC one. And then there's also release notes on what they changed here in different versions that have been released for it. Documentation's also here if you want to get the manuals. The quick start is what comes with it. The manual is what you actually want. That has a lot more information in it. And that's pretty much all you really need to worry about. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed the video or it was helpful to you. I would really appreciate your feedback. Have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.